Welcome to Live Your Passion. I'm your host, Alex Stephen from Life Transforming Treasures. On Live Your Passion, our guests share their stories and challenges and how they embrace and overcame them. Hopefully, you could get some wisdoms from their stories to help you on your journey. I'm an author, a speaker, and a life transformation coach. Please go to my website and download your free copy of 7 Keys to Your Dream Lifestyle at alexstephen.com. Today I have a special guest with me, Kit Pang. Kit, thanks for coming and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Great, thank you so much, Alex, just for having me. My name is Kit Pang and I am a speaker coach, a TEDx and keynote speaker, and the founder of Boston Speaks. I am on a mission to help individuals and entrepreneurs become exceptional speakers and communicators because I always had a thought in my head when I was growing up. I always wanted to become a speaker, but something was holding me back. It was the fear of public speaking. It was my self-conscious belief that I have an accent, that I didn't know what to do. But today I'm proudly happy to say that I'm helping others and I love public speaking.
Yeah, and that's how we met at one of your workshops in Boston. So again, thanks for coming. And the name of the segment you wanted to use today is From Introvert to Extrovert. So that's an interesting story because a lot of us, the fear keeps us back, me included. And we lose so much time. Like, people say you squander the time, but it's all part of the learning and you have to take that leap sometime, which you did. So let's talk a little bit about, you came from Hong Kong.
Yes.
One place I want to go. I've been to Singapore, but not Hong Kong yet. Tell us a little bit about your experience coming to the United States.
The first thing, Alex, I said when I got here, my mom told me this, was, I don't think I'll like it here. Because it got dark so quickly. Yeah. My skin color was different from everyone else's, and I didn't know English that much.
Right.
So when I came here, I felt that I did not know how to belong. Earlier, I said I was shy, and whenever I would have to speak up, even at a young age, I felt like my English wasn't good enough.
Right.
I didn't know how to speak to others because everyone knows the community, everyone has the culture, they're talking about the same cartoons. Right. I didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah. So you were in a different place, have to make new friends, and you look different to some of the people probably in your school and things like that. So culture shock. Yeah. So you have an accent. I don't know if you noticed, I have one too. And I thought about that myself. I came as an adult to go to university, and but I used to get compliments on my accent, but I still thought, if I had to speak, will people understand me? But I've been in corporate America for so long, I never had a client, CEO or otherwise, who never understood what I was saying. So, you just had to have that confidence. And, I remember Les Brown, one of the questions I had for him, my speaker coach and mentor and friend, and he did the forward in our book, Courage in Our Hearts. I asked him, you know, what he thinks about my accent. I want to be a speaker, you know, I'm training. And he started to laugh at me. He said, "You have a lovely accent. It's so soothing. You know, I wish you could talk to me before I go to sleep every night. You have such a nice." So those sort of things encourage me.
And how did that make you feel, actually, when he said?
Well, it made me felt, well, oh, I could do this.
Yeah.
You know, so things like that, you had to grab onto it, because we all have our little inferior
of course,
things.
Of course.
Yeah, so what were some of the other challenges you had in school and in the culture? How old were you when you came?
When I came, I was 6 years old.
Okay.
And actually, the first school that I went to for a few years, everyone was African American and Latinos. Okay. No Asians, no white people. I was the only Chinese kid.
So
the only Chinese
you
kid.
Stood out. Yeah.
So I stood out.
Yeah.
And actually, people would sometimes make fun of me. You remember the Yankee Doodle?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what they would call me as my nickname. Because my
okay.
first name is actually Yan, Y-A-N, and my middle name is Kit.
Okay.
So they would always make fun of me by doing that. But, you know, eventually I would start making friends, but I would still feel hesitant if I were to speak in a crowd. You know, growing up, 7th grade, 8th grade, middle school, high school, I would not raise my hands. I would feel stupid when I would say certain things in front of a classroom. So that was always holding me back. Or the thought of, I have an accent, is holding me back. Or the thought of, I don't know what to say, is holding me back. It's all self-consciousness.
Yeah, it was tough for you. I didn't know it was that tough, being the only Asian. You know, I thought you went to like Quincy, that school right in Chinatown, not having anyone like yourself. That's a big shock. That's really, really big. Oh, and you come a long way. You have a sense of humor now. Somebody tell you that, you just laugh at it. Yeah, so it's good. It's good. You know, so you had those challenges, your accent, you looked different. You know, you came from a different culture. You were not born here. So those were challenges. So growing up, that's probably like elementary school following you through. And you made friends eventually, I assume. Yeah,
of course. That's elementary school, middle school. Of course, it's high school. Everyone has their own experience in high school. But what really started to break me out of my shell was that during one day, it was in high school, we went to a cultural field trip to see cultural performances and artwork. And at the place, there was a hip hop and salsa group dancing. After their performance, I don't know what happened to me. I went up to them. And I asked them, can I join their group? And they said to me, sure, why don't you come and audition next week or next few weeks? And I went to the audition, and somehow I got in. I think they were looking for more people. That's why they're like, okay, go on.
They need the numbers.
So I started learning how to dance with other people, just interacting. And I met some good friends there, and we started street performing right in downtown Boston. So Faneuil Hall, downtown Boston, Newberry Street. And that really broke out my shell. Imagine a Chinese kid, you know, just dancing, You don't see much of that. So that really helped me just to be more outgoing. A lot. A lot.
I mean, Faneuil Hall, Newberry Street, that's the top spots in Boston. So I could, you know, assume your confidence just started to shoot up and say, oh, I could do this.
I can do this. Look, I'm dancing, even though I was horrible at it. I sucked at it. Actually, during my first or second time street performing, I was practicing this move. It's basically, I grab my leg, okay? So imagine this is my leg, okay? So I grab my left foot, for example. And what I want to do is I want to jump and I want to put my foot over it at the same time. And when I was doing this move, I was trying to jump and put my leg over it. So imagine my leg is here. What I want to do is I want to grab my hand, grab my foot, and I want to jump and put my foot over. But when I was doing this on the streets, my foot didn't make it over. I got stuck halfway and I landed right on my foot. And I felt so embarrassing. But after that, I said, I can only learn from that. How can I be better? How can I entertain people more? How can I work on my skills? So it's all a mindset.
Yeah, it's all a
Yes.
mindset, and once you have that goal and you're persistent, and you make that commitment, things happen. You know, and
Yeah.
like we were talking earlier, success is 80% showing up. You there.
Oh, yeah,
Woody
definitely.
Allen said that,
Definitely.
and I believe that. If you stay home and just feel sorry for yourself, you're not gonna
Yeah.
make any movement, no progress.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it got you closer to your goal. So what was, I know you were teaching dancing, right?
Yes, I started to teach hip-hop dancing in studios and around different places. I even went to Lithuania and France
Oh,
to teach.
okay.
And I've been in one documentary movie, some
Okay.
commercials. So I've made a lot of friends
Yeah,
teaching.
yeah.
And again, I always say that broke me out of my shell. It's because, like you said, 80% is how you show up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I wanted to name the session From Introvert to Extrovert,
Yeah.
because it's not a bad thing being an introvert. It's not a good thing being an extrovert. It's neither good or bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's a different kind of mindset. Because as an introvert, I would not go up to people and say hi. Now I would go up to networking events. I would not be shy doing things with my body. I'm not that self-conscious anymore.
Right.
But as an extrovert, I would take in all the thoughts and think in naturally. You see, extroverts are people who like to think out loud. I think I'm moving on to that path of sometimes I like to say things and maybe it clicks when I'm talking out loud.
Yeah.
Introverts, they like to take it in sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, either one of them
It's
is
good or
have to
bad.
be like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
But it's just a different mindset.
Yeah, and I think
change.
there's a balance. You got to know
Yeah.
when to be silent and when to speak up. And then, everybody's born with a different personality. But it's good that you realize that you need some sort of balance, and you're seeing when you use some of the extrovert qualities, what it's bringing to your life.
Yeah.
So that's a good awareness for you.
For me, yeah.
Yeah. So, you had to be aware, you had to accept where you are, be aware, and then realize what's your passion. What it is. This is live your passion, the show.
Live your passion.
What is your passion? And once you follow in your passion, I tell my clients, my coaching clients, some of them come to me and they say they want to do this, they want to set goals, they want to commit. I say, to what? First of all, you have to know where you are, be aware. You have to accept that, and then the change, you have to find out what's your passion. What it is you're passionate about. What's your why? What's going to keep you going? Wake you up 2 a.m. in the morning with this drive. And once you're doing that and you're committed, when you get challenges and obstacles you'll want to overcome, you'll overcome them. And that's what I see in your journey, more or less, because you found your passion, you wanted to do this, and your confidence grew as you practice more and more.
And it's great just hearing you say that, because every single time we get together, we're sharing stories, and I can see the passion in you. You just want to help people, and I love that. And speaking about passion, so I love dancing. I've been dancing for 12 years, and so I would dance and teach dance, and I would also work in dance administration.
Okay.
So the back end of a dance studio,
Right.
how to run a dance studio, all the administrative work.
Yeah.
And since we're talking about passion, my passion in dance started being on the side.
Right.
I started having a new passion, which is speaking. Because at the beginning of the show, I said I'm a speaker coach and the founder of Boston Speaks.
Yeah.
I'm not a dance instructor anymore,
Right.
because last year I wanted to become a speaker. It was always in the back of my mind,
Right.
and because every single time I would see people on stage, I would say to myself, how are they doing that?
Yeah.
How are they on stage? How are they speaking? Now, at the same time, I knew I wasn't the best at speaking, but that was something that I always wanted to do. And at the last year of my college, I entered this public speaking competition just because I wanted to practice on the scale, and there was a prize of $2,000.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
of course,
motivation.
that's motivation.
Yeah.
So I practiced really hard. It was in the church, so I practiced from maybe 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. just practicing. I would be in there by myself, just enunciating, practicing over and over again. During the day of the competition, I felt like I was able to be myself, to share my emotions, just to be able to do this on stage. Let my arms go, let my emotions go, just give it out there. And it was that feeling that hooked me in with public speaking and this communication.
Right.
It's like being surrounded by a good group of people. You know, when you're surrounded in a good community, you have that mindset.
Right.
That was the same thing that I felt when I was speaking. That gave me a new mindset, that gave me a new feeling, and I wanted to pursue something with that in my future.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I'm hearing you saying is like, even with the dancing, it was something, you know, you got into it and you were not like a natural, so to speak.
No.
Right? Or you didn't hit the ground running, but you were persistent. And you keep, and this is what I want people to, you know, to realize, to hear, is that, you know, being persistent when you want to do something, it doesn't always come off the first time. It takes several tries. And, you know, someone said the more no's you get you closer to your yes. And that's what I hear you saying. How you did it is the persistence, is the practice, is the showing up in your dancing.
That's right. Yeah.
And then in the speaking, it's showing up again. You know, what most people wouldn't do is like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Who's doing that?
Yeah.
The person who wants to win. I mean, the $2,000 is great, but it propel you into a different career, so to speak. You know, your own business. So that was good incentive, you know, for you. And so tell us a little bit some of your experience in this journey in speaking, public speaking, and, you know, what are you doing now?
And well, first I do want to say I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Because I like to ask people, do you think you can master your skills, even though you're not born with that gift?
Right.
And because that's what I believe. Because as you said, dancing was not the most natural thing to me. Speaking was not the most natural thing to me. It's not something that we get up to do in the morning and say, hey, look, I'm going to dance, I'm going to speak in front of a group of people. And what it is you have to, if you want to master that skill, you have to hone in on that and practice and practice and practice.
Right.
That's why I believe that anyone can be great and exceptional at anything that they want to do.
Yeah, and you know, we all born with greatness in us. I really believe that. We all do, but some people go out and develop it, and some just have it, you know, dormant. But we all have different skills. We're all different, you know. We all have different accents. Hong Kong, Trinidad.
Yeah.
But you know, and but that's how it is. And once you accept that, you know, you're pursuing your goals. And, so you got into speaking. What were some of your early experiences and challenges, and how you overcame them? Share it with the audience. So their challenges may not be in speaking, but it's something, some fear they have that they could
I'm going to say this. Some of you might want to quit your job right now. Some. And this is the position that I was in. I was working full-time at a dance studio, and I was teaching hip-hop at night. Now, I'm at this point, I want to create a freedom business. I want to start a business for myself. What can I do? One, I knew that I wanted to get paid to speak. Two is that I just want to become a speaker and get out there more. So that's what I did. I started hosting workshops. I would post educational events about public speaking on Meetup and Eventbrite, and I would teach, for example, public speaking for entrepreneurs. I would post it on Meetup, I would post it on Eventbrite, I would share it on social media and try to get as many people to come. I started hosting one, people loved it. I started hosting two, people wanted more. So I started hosting events, maybe 1 or 2 a week. Since January of 2016, I'm proud to say that I've hosted at least 80 workshops on communication, just teaching that skill. And from hosting that, people saw more of me. People kept on coming back from meetup to meetup to meetup. There are some people that, I hate to say this, I don't even know their names. But
I see them all the time.
I know their faces, but I don't know their names. And one of the other big problem that I have was, how am I going to make money out of this? I saw that a lot of people needed the skill of public speaking. Now, the next thing was, I need to offer. If I have this great service, I can teach people how to speak. Or if you have a great service, people might be looking for that. Because have you ever heard of the saying, if you are a 5th grader, you will be an expert to the 3rd grader.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was one of my limiting beliefs too. I thought that I have to be this big guru, this public speaking guy to be able to teach a lot of people. But a lot of people don't research that skill, right? And if I've been hosting all these workshops and if people love it, why can't I teach public speaking? So I started charging for my 4-week courses. So right now I'm teaching courses on how to master public speaking, the technical side of speaking, and also how to get paid and booked to speak, because that was one of the journeys that I wanted to take too. And I'm happy to say that I given a talk on TEDx. I've been invited to speak at Inbound, which is a big marketing conference. Last week, I spoke at the CIO Summit, Chief Information Officers. So there were all these technical leaders, and I was teaching them public speaking skills.
Wow.
And they loved it. They loved it.
Yeah. So that's good. So now you're at a point where you're giving back. I know you give free workshops, you're charging for some, but you started giving back and trying to help people who were in the same position that you were in. So that's a great thing, and that's how you get the exposure. Not everyone could charge from the beginning. You had to have this following, and people see what value you bring into them, and that's a great thing. So you have any with the people that you train in so far? You have any success stories of people who broke out of the shell, so to speak?
I would say yes. I have trained many people, from neurologists, scientists, to life coaches, and to entrepreneurs. There's this one woman named Rita, who is my good friend now. She's also Asian, and she felt that her accent was holding her back, and she felt that public speaking is not one of her thing. Now, after my courses, she's a little bit more confident. She feels when she's speaking in front of others. She's the owner of Boston Bonbon. She makes macarons. And she just recently got accepted to speak at the Massachusetts Conference for Women.
Wow, nice.
Before, she didn't know what to do.
She didn't know what to do.
Now she's teaching others in a big conference.
Yes.
And also, speaking about that conference, people come to me now. She is an author of a popular book, Flawed. She's also speaking at the Massachusetts Conference for Women last year, and she came to me and said, "Kit, can you help me on my keynote speech at the conference?" And I said, "Of course, yes, I can help you." So I love to help people now and see how they can grow. Even though they might know what they're doing, it's always good to have someone else take a look at your life, take a look at your process. And that's one thing that you do great too.
Yeah, because when when you're in the frame, so to speak, you can't see the picture. So you always want this outside opinion, somebody you could trust, and somebody who has the expertise, and that's very important. Always get somebody else. You might think it's great, and they might see something and like, ooh, I didn't think about that. So that's great. So you came from Hong Kong to being the only Asian in school. I didn't know it was that severe.
It wasn't that severe, but I was the only Asian.
No, I mean that's severe. I mean, just coming from, Hong Kong, it's primarily Asian, and you come into a new country, a different climate. I'm sure you didn't have a lot of extended family here and friends like you all had in Hong Kong. And it's all a culture shock. We went through that too. It wasn't that severe because there were a few people from Trinidad in our school and people from the Caribbean. So we sort of assimilated. But it is. But once you have your eye on the goal, it's all secondary. You were young, 6 years, so it took some time. But where you are now, that's what people are looking at, is in terms of your stories, the challenges you went through. You did things on your own. I didn't hear you talk about having specific mentors, so to speak. I know that's something I recommend, mentors, coaches, but you looked You went on seeking.
No, I have a lot of mentors who I
Okay.
call my friends.
Right.
I think mentors are great because they have skills that you don't have, or
Right.
they may have skills that you already have.
Right.
But what I find great in my friends or my mentors is that they give me a kick in the butt.
Yeah.
Look, we have all the information we need on Google. We
Mm.
have all the steps we need on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just don't do
Don't
it because
do
we're
it,
on
yeah.
Facebook all of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But you need a mentor to say, hey, get off your butt,
Yeah.
do this. Or just to give you the next step. Or
Right.
just to give you inspiration. That's what I think really.
And the thing with the mentor is that they hold you accountable.
Mhm.
And I think that's what we need. We get sidetracked. There's so many things going on, and you get sidetracked and you don't come back. And that's the thing. If you're talking to someone on a consistent
Yeah.
basis, they keep you on track.
Yeah.
And, you know, mentors, it could be a paid mentor, like Kit said, it
Yeah.
could be a friend. You know, growing up, I didn't know the word mentor, but I was never afraid to go and ask people for help. And I realized when you ask people for help, they're always willing to help you. There's no one you're going to go to and ask for advice and they're going to say no. I used to go, and I got out for my mom. She's like, why you don't go and ask this? In the village we grew up, and I'll say, what about this when you pass your exam? You know, from a young age, I can remember 10, I wanted to go to university. And it took me some time. You know, I got married, had 2 kids.
Yeah, yeah.
My wife and I came to university in the United States, but that dream, that goal never left me.
Mm.
You know, although things didn't happen the textbook way, I say, you know, like you go from high school to university, college. That didn't happen in our case. We worked for a few years, started a family, and then we came to the United States. So it doesn't have to be like everybody else. Once you have that goal and that commitment, you know, you could achieve it. Everything doesn't happen the same timeline for everybody.
No.
So
no.
people have to realize that. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't get frustrated. Just pick up the pieces. Like Kit said, talk to your friends, trusted friends, people who know more than you. Like he used a good analogy, 5th grade could teach 3rd grade. And that's one of the things I had to talk about my granddaughter in Montessori school. I love it. She's in what they call lower L. So they have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. So she's like a senior. She's 3rd grade. And they work and interact with the 1st graders and 2nd graders. And they did that for her when she was in 1st grade. And, you know, we had to take that concept and use it in our daily lives and businesses too.
Yeah, I think, Alex, everyone has their own journey. And I just want to share with you one great tidbit that my mentor shared with me. He asked me, why do people fail? Why do people fail? And he gave me 4 reasons. 1, why do people fail is because they have no consistency. For example, if you want to learn how to play the guitar, you cannot just play it once a week or, I mean, once a month. You have to play it on a weekly basis, probably, right? So you need consistency. A second reason why people fail is because they have no system. If you have the guitar, but if you don't have the YouTube channel on how to teach you how to play the guitar, you don't have a book on how to play the guitar, you can learn it, but it's probably going to take you a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yes. And another reason why people fail is because they have no accountability. We have the guitar, we have the system, we have the book. We might play it 1 week, we might play it 2 weeks, but then life happens.
Yeah.
And then we don't come back to it
Drop off.
6 months later.
Yeah.
So what accountability can you build in? Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's going on Facebook group, having the same group of community.
Yeah.
And the last reason why people fail, we talked about this, is because people don't have mentors. Mentors have done it before. They have the expertise. They can give you that kick in the butt.
Yeah.
They can show you the way.
Yeah.
So if you surround yourself with consistency, accountability, have a system, have a mentor, can you fail?
Yeah.
It's going to be, you still can, but it's going to be less hard too.
Yeah, less hard. And I stress this, I guess every show, is you have to have mentors.
Yes.
You know, if you could afford it, get a coach, somebody to hold your hand, somebody to ask you the right questions. It's a great investment. You know, not just the course you got to look at, but the value, the return, the change in your life. You know, that's going to be a total change in the trajectory of your life once you get the right coach, right mentor, and just keep it going. It doesn't have to be, that official. Like you said, it could be friends, people who traveled that path before, in that journey, and they could tell you. So, so here you talking about where you came from and all the things you went through, what you achieved, where you are now. It's pretty great story. Anything else you want to leave with the audience? Anything?
I want to leave with the audience. What I find special is public speaking. And I always like to give examples. Here's what Warren Buffett said when he was interviewed on what's one skill that people should master. And he said public speaking. And he said public speaking because public speaking is one of those skills that you do not need a 200 IQ to learn. It's a skill that you should master because for leaders, for everyday average people, it's a skill that you need to connect with others. It's a skill that will teach you how to organize your thoughts in your mind. It's a skill that will teach you how to be more relatable to the audience. And it's a skill that will teach you about body language and just eye contact. And it's a skill that you just need as necessary, as an asset in your life. Because we live with other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's great. And Warren Buffett,
he
successful guy, he knows what he's talking
guy.
about. Yeah, I like him. Very humble guy.
Yes.
So, great. Thanks a lot for coming and, gracing us with your presence and your story. And how could people get in contact with you?
Sure, thanks, Alex. If you would like to get in touch with me or learn more about public speaking, you can go on our website at Boston Speaks. That's Boston, and then speaks.com. Or you can feel free to email me at kit@bostonspeaks.com. We host a lot of free workshops in Boston, from public speaking to how to sell to funny events like improv classes too. So if you want to get in touch, just go on the website.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. So what I like to do on my shows is, give a copy of my book to my guests. And this is my book, Courage in Our Hearts, A Family's Love Story. The forward is by Les Brown, and this is your personal autograph copy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
Look at that. Yeah.
What I do on my shows too, I like to pick the quote of the day. If I could find today's date. And for my book, Inspirational Life Quotes, collection for your daily motivation. So there's a quote here for every day, and today's quote is, I submit to you that if a man hasn't discovered something he will die for, he isn't fit to live. Martin Luther King Jr. I think you discovered what you want to live for.
Yeah, that's a great quote.
Yeah,
that's for
great
today.
quote.
Matches.
Yeah. And Jim will tell you, we talked about this on the last show. I read the quotes, I don't know I don't look at the quote before, and it's always relevant to the topic. I don't know how this happens. It's always relevant to the topic. So I have a couple other books. They're all on Amazon. This one is IP Goals Made Easy for parents and teachers who deal with IP. And the other book we have, which is an accompaniment, study guide to Courage in Our Hearts, it's Discover Your Inner Treasure, and my granddaughter on both of these.
And I have to say, Alex, thank you just for writing these books, because I think once you get, it's that mindset again. Once you surround with good content, good books just like these, you want to grow even more. You become more successful with your personal life, family, business life. So just thank you, keeping us inspired with
thanks a lot. So again, if you want to reach me, my website, I have free resources at alexstephen.com, and my email is info@alexstephen.com. Thanks a lot for tuning in to Live Your Passion, and see you next time.
The preceding was a production of Medfield TV, Community Shows.